Good morning. It gives me great pleasure to announce the launch of our seventh Responsible Business Rankings. These are based on the sustainability performance of India's top companies. The rankings are based on the core philosophy that non-financial criteria such as environmental issues, society, and governance play an extremely important role in determining the role of business. Till now, we measured only financial metrics. The environment and biodiversity were considered externalities and not included in corporate performance. And that's exactly what the problem is today. The things we have forgotten to measure or considered as relevant are fighting back. While wealth metrics across the world have increased over the years, the damage to everything else in terms of the environment has been immense. We are now in the midst of climate change with skyrocketing levels of carbon. We are also in the midst of the largest species extinction with historical levels of loss of flora and fauna. Growth has also not been equal. The consequences of imbalance are now being seen all across the world. And if they are allowed to go on unchecked, can cause a huge amount of disruption to human life and business, of course. So while capitalism has flourished across the world, everything else has been left behind. The 17 SDGs and the related interlinked targets within these address a variety of issues, from ending poverty to stemming climate change and providing a pathway to a sustainable and far more prosperous world. Since the Sustainable Development Goals have to be implemented by 2030, it requires an immense effort, not only from government, but from business too. The Indian government is already using the SDGs as a roadmap for formulating national policies and regulations. It is therefore incumbent upon corporations to complement these actions. However, growth and GDP measures still don't account for many of the things that we now value: health, well-being, environment, education, and so on. This must change. The ESG framework that covers environmental, social, and governance issues has been adopted as a performance measure by many financial institutions across the world. In fact, ESG-based funds perform exceedingly well in the last few months, and company after company has announced that they will now focus on these metrics in addition to financials. The clamor for a green recovery and the European taxonomy for ESG is further going to strengthen the path towards a greener, cleaner, equitable, and healthier world. ESG is the basis of our 7-year-long study, and we want to thank everyone that has been instrumental in supporting this journey. Professor Janat Shah of IIM Udaipur, the entire team at Economic Times, the Futurescape team, and India's top 200 companies who have worked with us on this ESG journey. Thank you all very much. Now over to Professor Utkarsh Majmudar to talk a little bit about the methodology of the study and what goes into creating the study year after year.
8 years back, Namrata and I embarked on a journey to measure the performance of companies on their sustainability actions. Now, when we started this study, we found something very interesting. Most other studies were evaluating or ranking companies based on the amount they spent on sustainability actions. And we said, wait, that can't be right. So we tried to figure out how do we actually go around measuring a company's performance on sustainability itself. And that led to a long hours of brainstorming and time spent in trying to figure out what really worked. We put together a list. We wanted to make sure that this list was robust, so we went and checked with industry experts and academics to figure out whether what we were trying to measure was the right things. Having gained acceptance, we felt that the measures were appropriate. Now, these measures or parameters have grown to over 90 now. So that's a large increase that we saw over a period of time. Now, what we have observed over the number of years is the fact that companies are improving their performance on their reporting. They are providing more information, they're providing better information, more qualitative inputs, and as well as quantitative inputs are available now. And that, I think, is very significant. And it is an ode to corporate India that they have pushed hard on sustainability.